Yo, what up, what up? See, man, Big Brandon Carter. I am here with my dog, Javiel, man. How you doing, man?
Doing good, man.
Yeah.
Feeling a lot better now.
Yeah, yeah. All right, the reason he's here is because Jav just won second place in his very first bodybuilding. It was a Phsique competition. Ever.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to, we'll put clips up to show you guys how he looked and how he did. But I just wanted to like ask you about what it was like going from basically like zero. I mean, you had been working out for a while because you've been trained. Me and you worked out together a lot, you know, before you started. But then you went and got a coach, right? The homie Factory. Shout out to Fac.
What's up, Fac?
And you decided that you wanted to enter a competition. Tell me the story about what made you decide to do it. Like, what made you decide to even go this route?
Well, it was a combination of a lot of things. You know, when being, you know, obsessed and in the gym as much as I was at that time, and then you get so many people telling you, you know, you need to compete, and even me and you have had those conversations where you're like, yo, man, you should step on stage, and then
I always knew you had it.
Yeah, he did. He told me he was one of the first ones, and he actually, you introduced me to Fac, and then, you know, then hearing it from somebody like Factory, who's, you know, the number one coach in the industry, when you have somebody like that telling you, yo, no, you got what it takes, then it was like, okay, let's go for it.
Let's tell him, just saying that, you know, Fac is he owns a supplement store and a supplement company. He's a friend of ours, and just so they know who he is, he like does coaching and training for like high level competitors, people who are like in the Olympia, in the high level Phsique.
He's at 57 pros right now.
57 pros that he's training, helped them get their pro card, and they are competing. You know, like so.
I'm trying to be number 58 right now.
Yeah. So, all right. So what happened? So how did it work with you? In fact, what was it? What was you? So then you decided, hey, I want to do this shit. I want to take it to the next level. What was the next steps? Because a lot of people ask me about competing, so I would like to.
Well, there's so many steps to get there, and it's hard, man. A lot of people don't understand like how precise certain things are. So there was just first we had to come up with the right meal plan, but not just the right meal plan, but the right meal plan for me.
Right, because that's the thing. Meal plan, you can't just. People think that you can just grab something.
Yeah, it says like, oh, it's just a bunch of grilled chicken breasts. Like, no, it's not. It doesn't work like that.
It's like you had a custom meal plan, something that was custom for you.
For me.
And that's why you got success. Fac made a custom meal plan for you.
Yeah, custom for me, what I was trying to achieve and what we were going for. Because a meal plan for me, training for a physique competition would be completely different for somebody going for a bodybuilding competition or a girl doing a bikini competition.
Or just a guy, right? Yeah. Like if you want to compete at that level, you're going to be training and eating different than somebody who just wants to get in shape.
Because people don't understand, there's you know, you come across so many different people, and it's like once I got heavily into it, then you understand it a lot more. People don't understand there's a difference between, you know, eating right to get in shape, and then you're talking about eating right to get on stage. Yeah, that's a whole nother level.
Your aim is to get your pro card.
Yeah.
All right, so like that's just different level. And just in general, like if you have something. You could just grab something, or just people will say, "Man, I hear all this different advice. What should I do?" But what you really need is something that's like particular to you, your body type, your lifestyle, and your goals.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a little different for everyone. You know, you have goals that exceed what is necessary for everyone else. Like, or even me, right? Like, I don't, you know, your shit was more strict. So, Fac made a custom meal plan for you and a custom training plan for you for your goals. So, how much time between the day you started working with Fac till the day you won the competition?
That was like about a year of prep.
A year of prep for one day.
Yeah, that didn't happen overnight, man. That was an entire year. So it's like, you can imagine my level of frustration when it's like you put in a year of nonstop grinding and you get people like, now for real, man, what are you taking? It's like,
oh right,
it's like, yo, I've been grinding an entire year.
And then you've been working out way before
I was
that.
working out, you know, way before that. I had mass, and I remember I had the conversation with you. Like, that was the most complete I was. Like, I've had stages where I was either ripped, or I had stages where I just had a lot of mass, but that was the most complete I ever was, where I had a combination of both. So, but that took a lot of work to get there.
So let's break it down into the phases. So the first phase, he had you bulk. He said you needed more size.
Yeah.
How much did you weigh when you started?
When I started, I was probably about 175.
Yeah. How tall are you?
I'm only about 5'10", 5'11".
5'10". Just so they have context, you know what I'm saying? And how much weight did Phsique want you to gain?
Well, there wasn't a specific amount, but we just wanted to get some decent size before we started the cutting. So I got to about 190.
So because I'm not I don't like to do math publicly. How much did you gain?
I gained about it was an 8-month bulking process, so it was about 12 to 15 pounds.
12 in 8 months, but then you got to remember. But your diet was straight.
It was real straight. It was like one cheat meal a week.
One cheat meal a week,
yeah.
Not days.
Not a day.
But you were bulking, so it was a little different. Like you were in a surplus the whole time.
Yeah, I was still having about 7 meals a day. So it wasn't like I'm eating little grains, but I was having 7.
Did you have to measure
big meals a day?
Did you have to measure your food out, or
the rice? Sometimes you do have to measure, but after a while, it's like
this is a year.
After a year, you mentally can just look at it and be like, yeah, that's enough. And
for your bulk phase, how many calories did you have?
There was never really a calorie count. That was the most intriguing thing. There was never really a calorie count. There was really just, okay, we're gonna have certain amount of ounces of chicken breast, certain amount of ounces of steak and stuff like that.
Well,
certain amount of cups of rice.
He knew how much calories.
Yeah,
he
already
didn't make you count it because he said,
he already knew.
You don't have to do fucking math. Just eat this shit. You don't have to do arithmetic when you eat. Just eat this shit. What I tell you. So, okay. So he broke it down. He laid it out for you. Did that make it easier?
It made it a lot easier because it's just instead of instead of sitting there and trying to count it, it's just 3 cups of rice or 2 cups of rice, half a cup, and it's like, okay.
Or even trying to figure this shit out, right?
Yeah.
Like sometimes the hardest part is just trying to figure out. It's like, I got to get this many calories, and then I go, okay, now you got to start looking shit up and trying to figure out.
That was another reason why I had elected to go with him, because he just made it. Basically, dealing with him is it's like fitness for dummies. He just made
break it out.
It's like he made it. He just gave you the blueprint, and basically all you had to do was walk.
Just do what he said.
Just do what he said and trust the process.
That's the beauty of having a custom plan made for you, when somebody lays it out for you, because you don't have to think. It's like you can't fuck up.
Yeah.
Like you can't fuck up.
And the key is to also, I've always had to say it to myself a while. It's like you have to trust the process. There's gonna be phases where you're gonna feel like you're plateauing, you're not getting anywhere. There's certain phases where you're gonna feel like it's like, oh man, I'm ready now, and it's like, oh, you're still not there yet. Yeah, you're still not there yet.
Son, slow your roll.
Yeah, because I had that conversation with him. I was like, hey man, I'm ready now. I'm not gonna get any bigger. It's like, you're still not ready. It's like, you still gotta wait. So he makes it real easy.
When you're working with a pro, it's different. It's just because this is your first time doing anything like this. You were just kind of just a guy, just a regular. You just worked out. You've been working out for years though. You didn't just. I don't want you guys to think that it's just a 1-year transformation, because he's been training. He comes to my gym. We work out together. We used to work out together all the time. When you started fucking with Phsique shit, that shit was more intense than I can fuck with.
It was a lot more intense. It was a lot more intense than anything I've ever
because the job is different. I'm never going to compete, and I don't train people who want to compete. Or the stuff we do is not necessary for people, not necessarily geared to be. It's for just the regular guy, but he had you on some literally pro level shit.
Because it's a different mentality as opposed to how we are today, where it's like, hey man, we can go to the gym later on,
exactly.
but there's no time to it, as opposed to early morning, get your butt in that gym.
He told you the times too.
For the cardio especially, it's like, okay, you need to get in there early morning, fasted cardio, 2 fat burners.
Fasted cardio.
Yeah, and taking 2 fat burners, empty stomach, and it's like, you can imagine how.
I don't have to imagine. I do it.
Just imagine
I might have done it once or twice.
But imagine just how certain people feel just doing regular cardio, and then you go in there on an empty stomach. You just took 2 fat burning pills, and you're just.
But you have a job too. You have a full-time job. When he did, so I want all you guys listening to he has a full-time job and a baby.
Yeah.
You had just had a baby when you started.
Yeah, that was tough. Actually, that day that I had met Factory, I had just bought remember when he was doing the camp food drive, and I had just bought the walker for him at that time.
The baby wasn't born. He was born.
He was born. He was crawling. He was getting ready to teach him how to walk.
So what do you say to the people who say, oh man, I got kids, or I got work, what's.
Well, I mean, how straightforward can I be?
Yeah, I mean, yo, man, tell them what you
I mean, the best way I could tell you is don't nobody care.
Don't nobody give a fuck.
He said it. Don't nobody care, man, because
Not as, I mean, yeah, you can make the excuse if you want.
because just being involved in that industry and just the people that I've met, you're always gonna meet somebody with a more challenging story than you.
Yeah.
I've met single mothers, 2 kids, and they're just like
They're still going for it.
and they're still going for it
At a high level, not even just regular.
at a high level.
So people who are doing it just to get in regular shape, they're complaining, but these people are like, you know what I'm saying, regular
so
jobs, kids, and doing it as well as it can be done.
Yeah, and I'm just looking at them like, well, you know, I'm not even going through half the stuff they're going through, so I can't complain.
It puts it in perspective, right?
Yeah, so it's like I can't complain about it. You know, like when I was at the show, I met a guy who was there, and he was a single father of twins, and he was like, you know, I have one baby. I can imagine how it is, you know, running behind 2 of them.
And he was single.
And he was
single.
single.
Damn,
Yeah,
at least you had your girl to be able to like hold it down.
Yeah, at least, you know, because I worked the overnight shifts. So
You worked the overnight shift too.
Yeah.
Not even regular. Just
So
keep that
that-
in mind, all you guys who think about typing some excuses, you know.
Well, yeah, that was the thing, because then I had the overnight shift, so it's like as soon as I get out from work, it's like straight to cardio, and then from there, go watch my son.
Damn.
So it was tough.
Yeah. And this was a year of this shit.
Yeah, it was a nonstop year.
Did you just do it just to challenge yourself, or just like, or
Well,
what you
yeah,
were made
because
of,
it's just
you know?
you know what it is, because after a certain amount of time of constantly hearing people saying,
That you should
"Yo,
compete, yeah.
you're good enough. You can do it," and then getting, I guess, that stamp of approval from somebody like Factory, because a lot of times you come across certain people and you're just like, "Oh, whatever, man. You just probably BSing me to try to get some money out of me." But once I got like that stamp of approval from somebody at that pro level, like Factory,
he wouldn't fuck with you because his reputation, because
he's not gonna put his reputation on the line and tell you, "Yo, you got what it takes,"
and then you fuck it up and you said,
because
you're
that's
one of
his name.
clients.
That's also his name on
he's
the
not gonna
line.
fuck with
So, you know, once I got that stamp of approval, so it's like, okay, you know what? This many people can't be wrong. Let me, you know.
So how
let me
long did
go
you
at
bulk? Exactly. You bulked for 8 weeks?
It was an 8 month.
8 months. I'm sorry. Damn,
It was an 8 month bulking period.
Damn. And but it wasn't. Was it hard or was it easy or was it well? How
Well, the bulking. Well, if you're gonna compare it to the cutting stage, the bulking stage was a lot more easier than the cutting stage.
And how was the so how long did you cut? So you bulked. So you
cut was 15 weeks.
15 weeks of cutting.
Yeah.
What did you have to count calories at all then, or it was all laid out for fat?
It was all laid out.
Laid out the whole.
But the only difference with the cutting is that now you're talking about there's no cheat meals.
Oh, you
during
didn't have to
cutting.
do any cheat meals.
Nah, there was no cheat meals. He took the protein shakes away, which was like the thing that was saving me the most was just like the protein shakes. Took the protein.
But you had to
shakes
get
away.
to it like a different level, right? And you had been obviously you had been bulking for a year and you've been training, so it's a little different. Was it? But he didn't have you counting at the
No.
He just laid he had the whole
laid
shit.
out. Yeah.
He did all the
Yeah.
work for you. Did that make it
Yeah.
easier?
It made it a lot easier because it's just, you know, that's just one less thing you have
You
to
don't have to worry about it. It's just all
you
laid out.
get
You just follow directions, you get the results.
Yeah, you just get basically the meal prep for the week, and it's like, listen, this is what you're gonna eat for the rest of the week, and then you know, when the week is over, send me the pictures. I'll see where you're at, and then we'll go from
then
there.
we'll go
So
there.
it was just a week to week basis.
Got you. Do you think like even somebody who wasn't even trying to do compete, they just want to get in shape, you think they would benefit from something like having somebody lay that shit out for them?
Yeah, definitely. I definitely do, because you're definitely gonna see a difference in because you're seeing a different perspective.
Yeah.
Because from what I thought it would be, it was completely different.
Yeah.
As to from, you know, I would have never, I'm thinking, you know, okay, yeah, I'm eating, you know, I eat pretty healthy, you know, I eat some broccoli and stuff like that, but then it's like, no, we need you to eat greens, we need you to eat asparagus, and it's like,
people always say, man, I eat good or I eat healthy, or what does that mean, like specifically? And
but then it's also,
they can't tell you,
and it's also
like,
the right amount.
Exactly.
Because it's like, yo, man, I eat grilled chicken breasts all the time. It's like, yeah, well, how many you eat? It's like, yeah, man, I eat like 4 or 5. Like, okay, that's a little too much, man. Like,
it's better to have somebody lay it out for you than you just follow the direction. Someone who knows what they're doing, and then you just follow the directions, and then you can't fuck up.
And then it's also the time in between the meals as well, like, you know, and then the amount of rest that you get. There's a lot of things that you have to.
Did he tell you how much to sleep?
He might have in the beginning, but I don't think, you know, because of what I was.
Yeah, you
I don't think
do the best you could, right?
Yeah, it was just whenever the little guy went to sleep, that was when I went to sleep.
So you cut for 15 weeks. Tell me more about that experience.
That was that must have been like the most challenging 15 weeks.
Like
Those 15 weeks is definitely the point that if your heart is not 100% in it, it's gonna break you.
Yeah.
It's definitely gonna break you because you go 15 weeks, you know, no cheat meals, and it's rice and it's asparagus, and especially when we got to the end, it was just like it was just
real
fish.
tight. Yeah.
It was just like
fish.
It was just like white fish at the end, like almost every day, and it was like 5 of the 7 meals was like fish and asparagus, no rice, and then you just there like, is this even worth it?
Did you see it? Did you see it? Would you like prep it for the whole week?
At times, when it got towards the end, I was doing it just by the day because we were doing a week-to-week basis.
Okay.
So you know, there was times that was changing. Yeah. So,
but was that easier? Like when he gave you the plan for the week, was it easier to like prep it, or was it easier to just try to go with it?
It was easy for me. It was easier to go with it. For some people, it might be easier to prep it, but I didn't, you know, per se have that type of time, so I had to do what worked for me, and I was just going with it.
What if you had to like figure this shit out every time on your own?
I probably would have never done it. It probably would have never completed it. I'm not even gonna
so
lie.
it's a good thing you had this shit laid out.
Yeah, I would have never completed it.
For sure. So how much during those 50? How much cardio were you doing? And what kind of cardio?
It changed when I was in the beginning. When I first started, it was about 3 times a week.
This is during the
bulking stage.
The bulking stage. All right.
So it was 3 times a week, 35 minutes. As we progressed, then it went 4 times a week, 40 minutes, 5 times a week, 50 minutes.
What kind of cardio was it?
At that time, it was just bulking. It was just regular cardio.
Like mid tempo.
Yeah, it's just like
mid tempo. Kind of slow.
Yeah,
right? Kind of slow cardio.
Once we
want
got
to retain muscle. Right?
Yeah, once we got to the cutting stage, then everything was just pretty much hit.
Hit cardio.
Was hit cardio, 45 minutes and up. And
wait a minute. Just want to be clear. You had to do hit cardio to cut up.
That's his stuff right there.
All right, I'm just gonna be clear. Just, you know what I'm saying?
Hit cardio to cut up. 45 minutes. You know, at first we started like on the elliptical where it was just
on the machine.
Yeah, at first it was the elliptical where it's like it's a warm up, and then you know it's like you're going 60 seconds where you're going at a decent pace. Then it's just like 30 seconds. You're just hauling ass,
going as fast as you can,
as hard as you can. Then it's a minute break. Then again 30 seconds as hard as you can. Minute break, and then you're just doing that for like 20 minutes, like nonstop. It's just 1 minute, you're good. 30 seconds, you're just going.
I've never thought about doing hit on a elliptical.
Well, on the elliptical, for me, it was. At least for me, it was a little easier because with the elliptical, you can go like all out and not feel like you know you're gonna break something.
Right.
It was a lot more difficult on the Stairmaster.
You turned it up on the Stairmaster? Oh shit!
On the Stairmaster,
that seems almost dangerous. Like, listen, don't do this at home unless you're like at a level where you can do it. You know,
you have you need to ease yourself into it.
I used to do it on a treadmill, and that like I would feel like I was gonna like it's. I don't recommend it because sometimes I almost busted my ass. You know?
Well, there was a couple. the first week I was doing the Stairmaster. I was telling you, I had moments where I thought I was gonna pass out because it got so intense. It's like I felt like it's like I can't sweat anymore. It's like I'm sweating so hard I can't even grab onto the thing anymore.
That's why we don't. That's why we don't do it on machines anymore. Just because I almost died a few times. Like legit, I probably almost died on it. Like, you know, that you trip on that shit, it's a wrap. But you know, you're at a high level, so it's like you can.
But that just goes to show you the difference between all right, you just want to look good for the summer, and then it's like, do you want to be at this level? Like, this is what you have to do.
Like literally pro. You know what I'm saying?
Like this is what you have to do.
Yeah.
Like you have to go above and beyond what everybody else is doing. So it's like
extreme results come from extreme actions. You know, so. So he did that twice a day, hit cardio?
No, that was 6 times a week.
6 times a week, hit cardio. Yeah. That's cool, but like just like sometimes 30, sometimes 40 minutes.
Yeah, 30 minutes when it was the Stairmaster, it was 30 minutes. When it was the elliptical, it was about 40 minutes.
That's the beauty of hit cardio, man. You don't have to do this shit for hours. You know, you can get insane workouts doing it. You know, in brief.
And that's when I was doing the 2-a-days because there was just absolutely no way after I had finished that I could do a workout.
Oh, this is a question people always get. I just want you to say the answer. You didn't do them in the weight training and the hit cardio
not
together.
At the same time.
Not the same, because not when you're going that hard.
No.
So it was like
there was just nothing left.
One in the afternoon and one in the morning.
Yeah, because there was absolutely nothing left especially after the Stairmaster. Like I tried it a couple of times and I just noticed that my benching and everything was just completely weak.
Did you ever try doing the weights then the cardio?
I've done it like that, but then it's just, then once you get to that cardio part, it's like you're fading a lot quicker. Like all your energy that went into lifting.
For that intense cardio.
Yeah.
I like when people either do it after, but depending on the intensity, or just different time of day, or
it depends on the intensity. Yeah, you can do it, but at that level, nah.
But never cardio first, I think, because your weights would just suffer too much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that it really did. That's why I was just doing the cardio in the beginning, and then I would go back for the weights, because it was just, like I said, my bench was just completely weak. I'm just sitting there like, it was hard for me to get a plate off. I'm like, what the hell is going on here?
How did this affect your relationship, like going through this thing with your girl or your friends, your family? Was it a lot of sacrifice, you know?
Well, you know, you basically in an island on your own. Yeah, you basically are. And it's funny that you mentioned that, because there was actually a few people that asked if me and you were beefing because I didn't go to the LA Expo. But it's like, no,
that's right. Because he came to some of the, he usually comes to the expos with us with Bro Labs, you know, just because.
But the LA Expo was probably like a few weeks before the competition, so it's like, okay, I didn't go, and it was like, yo, man, what happened? How come you wasn't at the LA Expo? It's like, nah, man, I'm getting ready for the show. It's like,
oh, they thought we had beef.
They thought we had beef, and it's like, you know, for people on the outside looking in, they're just maybe like, you know, that's a trip to LA, man. Why didn't you go? Yeah, because
we definitely invited you. You know,
and trust me, I was there like, damn, LA or this cardio. I was like, nah, I got it.
That's the thing, sacrifice. You passed him a free trip to LA where you would have got paid to go to LA. Do we pay him? Yeah, or you got paid to go to LA. and really just have fun, you know what I'm saying? And like have fun and like help us out at the booth. But he fucking in the middle of the winter too.
Yeah.
In the fucking cold ass. It was a blizzard that week. It was a fucking blizzard week. It was
I had texted Brian. I was like, damn, man. I was like, what you guys doing, man?
Yeah. And he sacrificed that shit to accomplish his goal. I want to illustrate how big that is, you know?
4th of July weekend, I remember my cousin had to actually call me because he was wondering if I was serious, because I had sent him a text cursing him out because they had a big family barbecue and they had invited me. I was like, yo, come out. I was like, nah, I can't come. I was like, yo, man, we'll grill some chicken breast for you. I was like, yo, I can't come, man. Leave me the fuck alone. And he goes, yo, you really mad at me? I was like, nah, man, I'm good, man. It's like at that point I was like, listen, man, I already had my 7 meals. I can't have another one. There's no purpose of me going there, watching everybody eat, and then just sitting there like, okay,
nah, you would have fell off. It's too much temptation.
So I just stayed home. So that was so when you're talking about in terms of the sacrifice, there was just a lot of times where it's just I stayed home because it's like I didn't even want to put myself in that position.
That's a good way to do it.
Yeah, the fella's like, yo, man, we're at the bar watching the game. It's like, I'll watch the game here at home with my gallon of water.
With a gallon of water, with no beer and fucking wings flying around.
Because you're not just gonna grab one. That's not happening. That's not happening. You're not grabbing one.
You know, it's like it's not just that it's not just like that with fitness. Like people, you know, me and Brian trying to build this company, and you know, we got employees and shit, and like it's like I have a lot of that just in general. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's what it's like when you really going after your goal, when you're really serious. So if somebody's trying to get good grades in school, if you're trying to make the dean's list, or you're trying to, you know, graduate with honors, or you're trying to finish a really great project at work, or whatever it is, sometimes you just got to focus in, shut out the outside world, and focus on your goal, man. Then you can party after.
Yeah, then you could definitely party after, because that's what I've been doing the last week, man.
Okay.
So it's just
so you do the show. You went your first show ever, went second place. Congratulations!
Thank you.
Congratulations!
Thank you.
What was that moment like, man?
It was really surreal, and then afterwards it was gratifying. Like, I didn't feel that part until like I got in the car and I was driving off, because at that moment it's just like everything is just happening so quickly, because they're also getting you off stage so the next group can come on. So it's just there, and like, you know, I'm just walking off stage, and I have the trophy and stuff. And then the first person that I saw was you know, shout out to Rima, she's the one that did the tan on me. First person I saw was you know, Rima, the girl that did the tan on me, and she's just there like, oh my God, congratulations. And I'm just there like, oh shit, that's right. It's like it didn't sink in yet, because it was just like, it's just been like an entire year of just being locked into a certain mindset. And then it was like, even when I had got to that point, like I didn't realize that that moment had came and passed until like afterwards. It's like, oh shit, like after all this time, like yo, I actually did it, and it was just like after that point, it was real gratifying, and then that's when like all the cookies and all the stuff.
Then you can do whatever you want because you already accomplished your goal. It's and it's better, man, than when you delay that gratification. Then you get the fucking trophy. Like literally, you get your fucking trophy.
The cookies and chips taste a lot better.
Yeah, exactly.
It tastes a lot better than getting 10th place. I'm telling you,
or not
place at all. But yeah,
there was motherfuckers who didn't place.
Yeah,
they wanted it just as bad as you did.
And there's a lot of guys, in all the divisions, man, and they train their ass off, man, and I guess maybe that's probably why I didn't jump up and down, because you did have a lot of guys there in all divisions and girls that for maybe a year, maybe even longer, that just trained their ass off and didn't get a top spot, and you see like their frustration, and a part of you just like, I know what that person went through, and
you feel sad for them, right?
Yeah, because you know what they went through. You were in their shoes, and it's like the struggle and the hard work that they put in and the sacrifice to get to that point,
and lose in front of all these people after that.
Yeah, it's like, and to not get that gratifying part, it sucks. So it's like, I guess maybe that's part of the reason why I just wasn't like jumping up and down. But then it's like, once I got into the car, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
It's like, I actually like put the seatbelt on the trophy. I was like, okay. I was like, nothing's happening to you. You got to make it to the house so everybody could believe me.
That's cool. How much weight did you lose during the cutting phase? I'm sorry.
A good over 10 pounds, like 10, 12 pounds.
Wait, like did you retain a lot of strength, or did you lose a lot of strength as well?
I retained a lot of strength. I did, like, only if there was a case where I went to the gym and I tried to combine the cardio with the lifting, that I feel like my strength had left. But besides that, there wasn't a point where I felt like my strength had left. I pretty much maintained the same strength. And what's crazy is that now that I've been, a week off it, I feel like a lot stronger, because it's just like.
Oh, all right. This is what I wanted to talk to you about that, because I like a lot of people, like, the way I do it, I do micro cuts and micro. Like I'll cut for like a few weeks and then I'll bulk. But I always know what I notice is that people, when they bulk after a cut, it's so much more effective. It's like so much, like how much weight did you put on in a lot of it was water, right?
Yeah.
But like how much weight did you put on in like this?
Well, as of today. Today is actually a week since the competition. I put on 8 pounds.
8 pounds. A lot of it's water, but it's like it's not
good. Like 3-4 of it would probably be water, but a lot of it is like all.
This is 1 week though.
Yeah.
It's like if you like. I'm telling you guys, listen to me. I want to be clear about this. If you cut first and then bulk, it's so much more effective. It's like so much, especially if you're like. That's why I always tell the skinny fat guys, cut first of all, cut first, because you don't want to gain more fucking fat, right? But then when you do bulk, it's gonna be so much more effective.
Well, because you feel a lot stronger when you get there, and then it's just like
your body, like sometimes I feel like it sucks up the nutrients. Everybody I know who competes, they say, man, right after when they get.
And then it's also a mental thing. Mentally, you feel rejuvenated, because it's like, okay, this is over. It's like, mentally you feel free, and then now. I remember like the first day I walked, because I took a couple of days off, and then I remember the first day I walked in the gym, it's like, I don't have to do cardio, I don't have to do this. I felt good, and then it was just like, you know what, let's go, we're gonna go heavy today. And it was just, and I was able to go heavy, because it was just, my mind wasn't locked into, okay, I have to do a half hour of cardio, I have to do a half hour of shoulders, I have to do a half hour of back. Like, I wasn't restricted to that. So it's just like.
So for the next month, you're gonna eat whatever you want and just train, normal, right? And then you're gonna go into
I'm not gonna confirm that, because Factory's probably gonna be watching this, so I'm not gonna confirm that. I'm gonna eat whatever I want. I'm gonna splurge a little bit, but not, whatever.
Not pro. All right.
Yeah.
But now you're gonna try to qualify as pro.
We're gonna. Right now, we're at the phase where he says he wants us to regroup, recharge, and then refocus. So it's like we don't want to think about anything right now. It's like, take some needed time off, because during that whole process you do come across a lot of back pains, a lot of injuries and stuff like that. So it just wants everything to heal up.
Heal a little bit. Take it easy for a little while.
Yeah, because at work I had broke my finger during the process.
Oh, you had he did all this with a broken finger.
I had a broken finger throughout the process, and it was just like, okay, well, and then dealing with guys like Brandon and Factory, it's like, okay, well, your finger's broken. That don't mean you can't do cardio. It's like,
yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I'm trying to get some sympathy. I'm like, hey, coach, man, I broke my finger, man. I don't know what to do. Well, you can can still ride the bike. That ain't stopping you from.
Yeah.
And it was just like
it's a different mindset. It's like, yo, so whatever it takes, man.
Yeah,
whatever
it's a completely different mindset. It's like, hey, man, take that up, man. Get on that bike. And
yeah, and
like,
that you then you started lifting. You never really let your finger heal.
Never really fully healed because because it broke right in the front part. So it's like there was a good point where it's like it was hard for me to grip anything without feeling like a pinch in it.
But you don't need all 5 fingers.
Yeah, you don't need all 5
you
fingers.
just need the thumb and like.
You get the Smith, you get the Smith machine and you just do open palm. So that's
man, whatever it takes.
Once I had got clear, that's what I was doing that for a while. It's just like it was just the Smith machine and then just open palm. And then,
yeah. Hey man, that's if you got a little injury, man, you try to find a way to work around it. Don't do nothing stupid. But if you can find a way to work around, like my bicep is still not fully healed from Olympia. I took some time off to let it heal recently, but for whatever reason, the chin up seemed to not hurt it.
And that was 6 months ago.
Yeah, it's feeling good now. It's feeling good now.
That was like October, right?
Yeah, but I took a little bit of time off to let it heal. But I was still doing cardio. Like I was still doing cardio, and I was like, hey man, don't let what you can't do stop you from doing what you can do.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, man. Had I broke my leg, it'd be like, I ain't got nothing to do with your arms.
You on this thing.
Yeah. And that was the other thing he was saying. It's like, hey, man, just get on it, man. There's still things that you could work around. And it's like,
yeah, that's a great story, man. Just like it's. Well, what do you think were the keys to your success? Like you had to pick one thing, or a few things that were like the keys to you being, because this is a year of, was it the consistency?
The consistency is one thing. You also got to have the right people around you, man, because during the entire process, you're gonna come across the certain people that, and everybody does it at a certain point. It's like, yeah, man, like I was saying, hey, man, come out, man. We're at the bar, man. We're hanging out. Come out. And then it's like, yo, nah, man, I can't do that. And then you get certain people that will still invite you. It's like, yo, I can't do that. And then you get the right people that are around you that is just like, all right, we know he's not doing it, so we leave him alone. We don't put him in that we don't put him in that environment anymore. So you got to have the right people behind you, because if you don't have that support and you really feel like you're on an island by yourself, it's like,
it's lonely, man. It's like it's sad and lonely.
It really is, man. So it's good to have that support system. It's good to have a certain inspiration that keeps pushing you to want to strive to do better. And I was lucky because I have my son, and that was just it. And it's like just me being with him all day long, it's like that's just my inspiration. So it's
you
gotta
keep going, man.
Yeah, because it's like, I don't know, maybe it might be a little bit selfish with me. It's like I don't ever want there to be a point where it's like somebody's telling a story to my son, or my son is telling a story of me, and he comes to the conclusion where it's like, damn, my dad was a loser. Like, I don't ever want that. Like, I don't ever want him at any point in his life to be like, my dad was a loser. Like, I want him to think like, I come from a family of winners. I'm a winner. Like, I can do that. Like, my father did this, my mother did this, my uncle, my grandmother. Like, I come from a family of winners. Like, I was born to be a winner. And you have certain people that's sad, man. You have certain people that are born with that mentality, that they just feel like, hey, my family's never been shit. I ain't never gonna be shit. And it's,
that's just like where we from. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah, where it's just like, but we were in that mode where it's like, well, I want more than that. I don't want this. I want more than that. And it's just, as long as you have the right inspiration, your inspiration is obviously different than mine. As long as you have that thing that keeps driving you,
Yeah, that's good. I mean, that's awesome, man.
Yeah,
I appreciate it. You setting a great example, man. Like, like a lot of people, most Americans, or most, especially in America, everyone's overweight, right? So you see your dad overweight, your mom overweight, then it only makes sense for you to be. But like, now he's gonna see you. My dad's a goddamn fucking Terminator. but like, he's gonna want that. He's gonna want that. So like, it's just gonna be in him. My dad goes to the gym. That's what we're supposed to do. Because my dad eats right. That's what I'm supposed to do.
Because that's where it starts, man. It starts with the right mentality, man. Because a lot of people just think certain things come easy. And it doesn't come easy, man. It's like, if these things were easy, then, with the billions of people that there are across the world, and there's like a small percentage of them that are in shape.
Yeah.
So it's like, it definitely starts with the mindset, because then you definitely do have a few people that just think all of it is easy, because you come
or
across,
they try to minimize it and they'll say, oh, this guy did drugs, or this guy cheated, or he's just born like that, and they don't know that you followed a consistent plan,
you know,
for a year.
and you're gonna come across those people, and the way I look at them is, you know, they want to justify their failure by criticizing your success.
They're putting their weakness on display. You know?
Yeah, because you get a lot of people. Well, you know, if I was on steroids, I could look like that too.
First of all, your bitch ass probably would take steroids and still not look like that because you was a bitch. It doesn't make you not a bitch.
You still got to put in the work.
You know, it doesn't take away bitches. But like you would like. Here's the thing: what people don't know, certain people on the internet who try to make you think that everyone in shape is on drugs, on steroids. Yeah. But the fact trains pro bodybuilders, so you know what. So all right, we know what that means, okay? Yeah. But he's told me that he's taken people, a lot of people pro. Like the majority of his pros in physique are natural. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? In physique, right? Like you did physique, so you're gonna be the next. Yeah. So it's like, what makes me sad because there's a lot of kids who are listening to these other motherfuckers, and they're thinking that it's just not possible, right? But now, in their defense, they may not know anybody who's willing to follow a fucking plan for a year straight, right? It's like, when the last time your goofy ass did anything consistently for a year or a fucking month?
It's a mindset,
right? 100% consistently followed it to the leather for a year. How you gonna not get results, especially if it's all laid out?
And to me, it's a mindset, man. Because I feel like in this generation, you have a lot of people that are always looking for the shortcuts, the get rich quick schemes, and it's just like you come across those people in the gym. It's like, yo, man, I'm going on vacation in 3 months, man. How can I get
I get ripped tomorrow?
It's like, yo, that's not gonna happen like that. Now, come on, man. How can I've seen you do it. Like, how can I? Like,
nah, that's not what you see.
It doesn't work like that.
It doesn't work like that.
And it's just, you know, even when you come across those people, it's a mentality. Like they're just used to cutting corners all the time, so they just think everybody else is cutting corners. So
and I think a really bad thing is, like you said, you set this example for your son. You was like, I don't think they have examples. Like I think like the youth, I think the biggest problem, they don't have examples of people putting in work consistently for a long time. I don't think it's like a thing to them. This is what I'm starting to believe. I'm starting to believe that this is not something that they realize people do. Like I think because everything is. Think of the name of the shit, you know, Snapchat, right? Yeah, Snap, like just immediately. Instagram, like immediately, right? Like that. They think everything is just they just think everything is instant, right? And I'm starting to believe that they don't have. No one has set the example for them that man, it's that results come from doing something consistently for over a long period of time and exclusively. Like I don't think that example it's hard to sell that, I guess, you know. It's hard to sell that.
Everybody has to go through it in their own way, because I know with me it was like, okay, I was always in and out of the gym, and even me and you had this conversation in the gym one time where it was like the moment where it was just like, okay, you know, I wanted to, you know, be serious with it. You know, I had an issue, you know, my grandfather had passed away, and I was close to him. So after that had happened, you know, I had the conversation with him. You know, a day didn't pass by where I wasn't drinking, and drinking a lot. Where it was just, you're talking about, it was lunch with a beer, dinner with a beer. I couldn't go to bed without drinking a beer, and it was just like, you know, and I have pictures on my page as well, where it's just like, after a while, it was just the amount of beers that you're just drinking just added up.
You got. I seen some of those pictures, man. You was out of shape.
So it's just, you know, it added up, and then it's like, I remember I went on a vacation for my birthday at that time, and I was hitting 29, and you know how it is when you hit 29 and 30 staring at you. It's like, for whatever reason, you know, and for everybody that's like 29 getting ready to stare at 30, it's like, it's not the end of the world. It's like, for whatever reason, some people, it's like, when they get to 29, it's like, oh my God, 30's coming.
It is the end of the world for girls. It's over. Don't worry about it.
Nah, guys,
I'm just joking.
Guys are good. But it was like, you know, it was my 29th birthday, and I remember I'm just there, and you know, there was a picture taken of me, and you know, and I'm just sitting down chugging a beer
with a little belly,
and I had a belly, and then I'm just sitting there looking at it. I'm like, I'm getting ready to turn 30, and it's just like, this is how I want to enter. Like, nah, it was like, and I've always been a supreme athlete, you know, prior to that. And I'm just like, what am I doing with myself? And it was just like, after that moment, I just started, consistently going all the time. It's like, some people need to have that moment where it's like, when you look at yourself, it's like, okay, is this what I expected out of myself? Do I want more, or is this where I'm gonna allow myself to be? And it was just like, staring at that picture, knowing the person that I always was and the person that I wanted to be, and this is before my son, it was just like, nah, I can't be this person. And especially after my grandfather passed, I was like, well, what would my grandfather think looking at me like this? He was just like, come on, man, I didn't make all these sacrifices for you, for you to just throw yourself into the gutter.
He was immigrant and all that shit, right?
Yeah, so it was just like, and then you start thinking of all the life lessons that he taught you, where it's just like, him and my uncles, they were always tough on me. And I remember there being, moments where it's like, why are you guys being so tough on me? It's like, how you gonna learn anything? Yeah. Like, nobody's gonna hand you anything.
Yeah, I think that's the problem with like a lot of these. Just when I read the comments, or just like the mindset of like a lot of the youth. Not everyone. My subscribers seem a little more tough, but like a lot of people
they feel like they're entitled to all these things, like it's supposed to be given to them, like, and
it's give you shit, man. Unless you're a hot chick, then
everything is given to you.
It's no big deal. Whatever you want, whatever you want, I'll give it to you right now.
You gonna give me a choke. You gonna give me a choke. My mother's gonna see this.
Oh, not him. I was talking about him.
My mother's gonna see this somehow. It's like, that's how you think, Javier? That's how I raised. It's like, no.
That's why you hang out with me all the time.
I was like, nah, that's Brandon.
But for real, man, I'm just real proud of you, man, because I remember when you were just talking about it, we was working out and you just talked about it, and I was like, oh, that's not really my shit, but I know someone who could help you if you're serious, right? You know what I'm saying? And then you went to Phsique, and it's just real, man. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm getting out is the keys was like, Phsique gave you the plan. He laid it out for you, so it was easy. Then you were also consistent, right? And I'm sure like the Rebellion pre-workout probably played like 80% of the role.
Oh no, it definitely did. No, it definitely did, man. All jokes aside, and I had told you that, and I had sent Brian a lot of text messages as well, and I was just, it definitely did, man. There was a lot of moments where it was just like, I don't know how I'm gonna get through this day, through this workout, and it was just like
of that pink magic.
And I think I had text with Brian one day. I was like, Brian, just in case something happens to me, I want you to know what happened. I took 3 scoops today, and he was like, oh God.
Shit, you took 3?
I took 3 scoops one day. I had text Brian. I was like, Brian, just in case, I'm gonna take 3 scoops. I was like, yo, if you don't hear from me again, you know what happened.
What did happen? I don't suggest you guys do that.
Nah, I don't. I don't suggest you do neither. I was seeing the little white line.
It was that's what issue, man. Hey, man, but sometimes, but that's what's up, man. Y'all, I'm just real proud of you, and I appreciate it, man. Tell them your Instagram so they can.
It's Sir J Pena. It's SIR_JPENA. No, that's the Instagram. Javiel Pena on Facebook. That's about it. I try to, no Snapchat, no Twitter. I just try not to, get too heavily involved in that stuff, man. Too much of that is not good for you. At least that's just me. Too much of that is not good for you, man. It's just, you gotta stay away from that. Plus, I got a 9-year-old niece in the house. It's like, oh, Uncle, what's that? She's a little too nosy. So.
Nah.
He's speaking from experience. He's speaking from experience.
Look at it. So follow my man on Instagram, man. He's always posting some inspirational shit, and just his workouts and everything. If you want to get in touch with him, ask him more about his shit. This is my dog, man. Like, it's been.
Yeah, but don't take anything I'm doing for like the next 5 weeks. Like, don't take any of that seriously. Yeah, it's like this is my R&R time. It's like don't. Cause then I don't want people to be like, oh, this guy came in second place. Like, look at his body. Like, I'm gonna let loose a little bit. So
we keep talking about Phsique. I'll put Phsique's Instagram in there too. That's the main way to get it, because he's a good dude, man. He's a ex-pro bodybuilder. But he knows his thing. Don't contact him unless you like want to compete. You can follow him, but like unless you want to compete, if you're just a guy, he's not gonna make a plan for you. You can compete. But we're gonna start doing plans for like people who wanna just if people that's coming soon. So maybe we'll put a link down there where people can get on the waiting list. But we're gonna open up some. We do it sometimes, but it's just time consuming. But we do like plans for people, meal plans for people. But it's not like where you can compete, but it will get you in good shape fast.
Yeah. And it's different. And it's just different levels.
Their goal
so
is different.
Just,
if you want to compete, holler at Fat. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't.
If you just want to look ripped as fuck, holler at Brandon.
Yeah, ripped as fuck for these. For these.
See, there you go.
For the summer. You know what I'm saying? For these summer seasons. All right, my man. All right, bro. Take it easy. Appreciate it.
Yo, what up? It's your man, Big Brandon Carter. A lot of you guys have been asking me for custom meal plans. So if getting your nutrition right, really dialing it in is important to you, then listen up, man, because I got some news for you. I used to do a lot of custom meal plans when I was doing one-on-one training. That's how I started. Because custom meal plans are a really great way to really just dial in your nutrition and predictably lose weight without feeling like you're starving yourself or going through some uncomfortable style dieting. But I had to kind of quit doing custom meal plans when I stopped doing one-on-one training, just because the fan base was so big that it was kind of unsustainable, right? I spent too much time doing it. But because I've been getting so many requests to do custom meal plans, I decided to open it up and just do a few for a handful of people, on a limited first come, first serve basis. And I'm gonna just do as many as I can till I feel like I'm getting overwhelmed. So we're gonna open it up for a few limited spots. We'll do custom meal plans for people. So if you're watching this video now, that means I've opened up my schedule to do a limited amount of custom meal plans. The link should be somewhere, to the left, right, up, down. I don't know where it's gonna be, but it's somewhere. You can click on the link and get your custom meal plan right now. All right, but there's a few things you need to keep in mind. All right, this is a first come, first serve basis. So if you click the link somewhere and it's not available anymore, then that's just it. You missed it, or too many people got in before you, and it's not available right now, at least. If there is availability, then the link then it'll say that in the link, and it'll let you know about how much time you'll have to wait to get it, but it won't be long. We're gonna get these out as soon as possible. Like as soon as we're gonna put a rush on them, because I want you to have this tool in your arsenal for fat burning. Those of you who are ready to get your custom meal plan now, if you're ready for me to make a custom meal plan for you, click the link below, fill out the form, and I'll get in touch with you soon. All right, peace.